former Georgia great discusses how the Dogs can get back on track after a loss to Alabama. Hey Dog Nation, I'm Brandon Adams. It's time for Know Your Opponent, presented by the Piedmont Bank. Before that, my friends at the Piedmont Bank want you to know your banker. What does that mean? It means doing business with a company that understands that banking is a people-oriented business and that relationships matter. And for your own small business, nothing could be more important than that. Whether checking, loans, whatever else, the Piedmont Bank wants to serve you with branches all across the metro Atlanta area. You can find out more online at piedmont.bank. That's piedmont.bank. And for Georgia, a chance to get back on track 2 Saturdays from now against the Kentucky Wildcats after a loss to Alabama this past Saturday. Of course, before that, an opportunity to get better during the off week. This week, on Dog Nation Daily on Thursday, former Georgia wide receiver Terrence Edwards stopped by to say exactly how the Dogs can make the best use of their time, given the fact they aren't playing this upcoming weekend. This is what Terrence had to say.
You try to self-correct. So they're just going to go and make a lot of corrections. A lot of teaching going on during the bye week. So it has nothing to do with their opponent in Kentucky. But this week is all about improving. That's coaching and players. So they're going to use this week to go over a lot of the miscommunication that we had in the secondary. We may have some miscommunications in the front seven. So you're just going to go back and you're going to self-correct the problems that's been glaring throughout these first few weeks of the season.
So Georgia has an opportunity to work on itself for right now, but eventually it will turn its attention to future opponents. With that in mind, let me show you the remaining schedule for the Dogs. The off week, as I said, this Saturday, not the original date it was scheduled, but the impromptu date might actually work to the benefit of Georgia, given the fact the next opponent on October 31st, Kentucky, looks like one of the SEC surprise teams after putting together a couple of wins in recent weeks and really a chance to have one Week 1 against Auburn. Then it's Florida on November 7th. Of course, the Gators dealing with the coronavirus outbreak right now. This still looms, though, as Georgia's most important remaining game. Then Missouri, Mississippi State, a road game to South Carolina, and a game against Vanderbilt will close out the regular season campaign, with the Dogs still hoping to be part of the SEC Championship on December 19th. And as Terrence Edwards explained, all of those games leading up to that are a precursor to what could be a rematch against Alabama, and all of this serves as a reminder that the goals that Georgia had at the beginning of the season have not changed, even though the Dogs lost to Alabama.
Their goals are still intact. If they go and play Georgia football and we play 2 good halves of football, that would put them there in the SEC Championship game and probably a rematch with Bama. So their goal to win the East first is still there, and their second goal is to win the SEC to get an opportunity to play in the playoffs. It's still there. It's still reachable. So nothing has changed. They're still just going to go out and continue to play as well as they can to try to reach the goals that they set at the beginning of the season.
So in summary here, the potential rematch against Alabama, the road towards that starts this week with an off week where the Dogs try to get better and then preparing to take on the Kentucky Wildcats next Saturday. That's a game we'll look forward to previewing with you next week again, right here on Know Your Opponent, presented by the Piedmont Bank.